Hello, this is Marvin Glotfelty. I am a hydrogeologist and licensed well driller here in Arizona. I'm pleased to be speaking with you again today on one of the NGWA industry connected videos. Today's topic is project coordination and client communication during the COVID pandemic, something we're all facing. So there's two different aspects of this that are important in our industry. First one is in the field, at a drilling rig site. When we're drilling a well, working on a well, how do we maintain social distancing, wear masks, do all the things, wash hands all the time, do all these things? That's easy to say, hard to do. Now, I'm sitting here in my office and I have a mask. I can wear this mask. I can wash. I've got hand sanitizer right here. I've got all this stuff. Well, what about at a drill rig? Drill rig, if they wear a mask, it's liable to get ripped. They got pipe dope on their hands. Do you want that? You want to be breathing that? Fuel, diesel fuel, all kinds of. They're working. They're doing a job, and so that's not so easy. Furthermore, a lot of times these crews, when they're on the road, they're living together. They're already together. They're sleeping in the same room. They're eating at the same table. So they're already a family. So do you need those masks? Well, you need to stay safe. You need to be sure that none of them go home, accidentally get COVID from one of their family members and don't even know it, come back and give it to the whole crew. You don't want that, of course. So there's no simple answer to it. And I've recently talked to a number of drillers that I respect about it. And the reality is a lot of crews don't properly wear masks and social distance because it's so hard to do. Now, one thing that is a suggestion is those rags you put around your neck that you can pull up. I think they're called gaiters, and those can work well. And you layer on top of all this stuff the social part of this. There's a lot of folks that really like to wear masks and embrace that, and there's other folks that poo-poo it and they just don't want to do it, and that's maybe their social or their political views. That's beside the point. That's not, we can't let that get in the way of what we do. We wear hard hats, we wear steel-toed boots, we wear work gloves. Well, this is just another bit of PPE. We can wear a mask, and that's not such a big deal. In this time, when during a pandemic, we can. And I think by and large, drillers will. It's just that it's not easy. So how do we put this in place? It comes to education. They need to understand that this isn't fashion. This is a real deal. I'm always reminded, this is pre-COVID, before there was a virus. I'm reminded of a photo that I've lost. I wish I still had it. I had this wonderful photograph of a guy. He was running sand, filter pack sand. So because of silicosis, he was wearing a dust mask, but he had a little hole cut in it, so he had a place for his cigarette to come out. And I thought it was hilarious. It's great driller innovation, but it's also missing the point that this isn't for looks. This is not a fashion statement. This is to keep you from getting bad stuff down in your lungs. And the same thing with COVID. We know that when people talk, it sprays some moisture, and that's how this stuff spreads. So we don't want to get it on ourselves. How do you do that? You can't be completely avoiding, but you do your best. You go into a store, you're going to wear a mask. They're usually required. You can do the same to the extent possible at a drilling rig, and you can be as careful as possible. You can educate your crew. You can take, there's little things you point at your forehead. You can take temperatures a lot. Make sure that if somebody's getting symptoms, that they get away from the rest of the crew for a period. So those are the things that we can do at the drill site. It's not easy, and it's going to be reality is going to be, it's going to be a decision of each crew on each site. There's going to be places where it's mandated by the client or the situation. Maybe they're at an industrial or a mining site or a municipal site where there's just no choice. That's part of the specifications. It's required. But there's other times, many other times, where it's going to be a personal decision, and just embrace common sense, educate the crew, do things that make it better. This pandemic is not over. It's still ongoing. We got a ways yet, and we have to work our way through it and all stay safe. Now, with that, we can't do it at the expense of all the other safety efforts. Like if you're wearing a mask, you're liable to fog up your glasses a little bit. Is that worth it or not? That's part of the decision that a drill crew would make. So this education thing needs to be talked through and just understood. That's at the site. Now, what about like where I'm sitting? I'm going to communicate with my clients. I'm going to explain something to them about what's going on. So we have Zoom meetings, we have Skype meetings and Google meetings and Teams meetings and all these different things. And that's fine, but it's kind of odd. And I noticed that there's, aspects of that we need to all get used to as well. So one thing is, I see a lot of people with their laptop, and so you're looking right up their nose, and think about what you're looking like, or else they're way off in the corner, and you see from here up, and you can see the ceiling, but you can't really see them. When I talk to my 95-year-old mom, she's like that. She's cute as a button. She's old and doesn't get it, and she can see you, so she doesn't realize that you can't see her. So it's kind of funny. So we need to keep that in mind for one thing. A lot of people will have this Zoom meeting so that we can all see each other and talk and have it be like a real meeting, but everybody turns their camera off. So if you do that, that's fine. That has an advantage that you can multitask. You can have a sloppy office. You can be checking your email. You can go to other places. You can have your hair sticking straight up in the air or whatever it is. That's fine. But what it means is you're not having eye contact. You're not really connecting with one another. So if you can stay attentive, if you can really attend the meeting, then do so. Turn your camera on. Be mindful of your microphone though. If there's a lot of these connections. There's a phone connection and also a microphone through the computer. You really want to mute them. If you mute your mic while you're not talking, it's best. And be sure if you got multi microphones on, they'll have feedback from one another. A lot of these calls, you hear the ding, ding, ding of a door opening when someone's out in the field. So maybe mute your mic when you're going to, open the door or back up a piece of equipment or something like that. There's a lot of background noise that we can kind of be mindful of as well. So these times with COVID are challenging for all of us. And the more we can continue to communicate with each other and be the connected industry that we really are, until it's over, and the end will come. But we just need to be sure that we stay diligent and take good care of ourselves. And we're a vital industry, of course. We need to not slow down. We've got to keep doing this stuff. So it's not just fun for us. It's a critical industry. So let's just keep that going and stay safe.